What's going on, guys? It is Patrick here, and in this video I'm bringing you my 4-player strategy guide for the new Extinction map Mayday. This should hopefully help you beat the map if you haven't yet. I found that this is probably the best way to go about beating the map, so let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at are loadouts, and I just want to mention right off the bat that your pistol is really just all preference, so there's no recommendations. I always recommend the Grak, but that's that. And then the other thing is that everybody has to have the same ammo, because if you got two different people laying down two different types of ammo, you lose one of them when you pick the other stuff up. So it just makes it really inconvenient. So make sure everyone is running the same ammo. I recommend armor piercing, but if there's something else you like more, go with that. Okay, so the first class that we have is the medic. So obviously you're going to want to put medic on. Pistol type doesn't matter, ammo type. I recommend armor piercing. Definitely you want to give them team support because they're going to be, the reviver, dropping down health, stuff like that. I recommend sentry guns. As for the equalizer, it's really down to choice, but I usually recommend crowd control. Now, the medic is going to want to start out upgrading their medic class because it's going to give people more health and all that good stuff. So just go straight for upgrading your medic class. And then after that, they're going to want to go for the armor team support. Now after that, it doesn't really matter. Sentries are helpful. They can do a little bit of ammo. But the first two things they want to get done is medic class all the way and then team support all the way. Next up, we have the engineer. So this is going to be the guy turning all the traps on, placing down the drill. Really crucial as it gives the drill more health and more armor. Makes it so much easier. Also, they're going to have an extra wallet, so that's going to be really helpful too. So what I recommend upgrading first for the engineer is your team support. So you're either going to want to have the team booster on or another shield. Is really depending how it helps. Go with either one, whatever you feel it will help your team. But go with that one first and then start upgrading the engineer all the way. From there, again, you're going to want to work on sentry guns. But basically, this class is going to be a great support role that really the focus is using the traps. That's going to really help your team out. Next up is the Slayer, and I gotta say this is a crucial role. This player has to be a really good Extinction player with getting probably at the end of the game at least 50 to 100 more kills than anybody else on the team because they are going to be just so dominant. So obviously they want the weapon specialist. First thing that they're going to go for is the weapon specialist, and then right after that, strike package for the sentry gun. This person's going to notice they have a lot of extra money because all they're dropping down are sentries. So they'll be dropping money down for the other team. This class, it may seem a little bit selfish, but trust me, if they're a good player, they will keep your team alive by killing everything. I recommend that this person also use an LMG. And after they're done upgrading their sentry gun, go for team support again for the armor. And lastly, we have our wild card, which I recommend to be another Slayer because it's just so helpful. Now this Slayer is going to be a little bit different. So first thing they're going to want to upgrade is ammo type because you guys are going to need ammo. So they should go straight all the way for their armor piercing and then start working on their class. Now after that, they have the choice of either going sentry or for their team support. I recommend sentry again because sentry is just so helpful on this map. But for their team support, like I said, it's kind of a wild card, so there's some lenience here. You can go with another team booster, perhaps you can go with feral instincts, or just go another shield. I usually just run shield because I feel like the more health you have, the better you're going to survive. But whatever helps your team, that's what you should go for. So that is our 4 classes to beat Mayday. Alright, so once you spawn in, it's kind of going to be same old on Extinction. You want to plant the drill down and just go looking for stuff. Trying to get some flares maybe, some more money, some some ammo or stuff. Maybe a locker key if you're lucky. You might get a chainsaw or something out of that. But really just go around looking for stuff, same old. Open up the 2 doors as well, but don't get the toolboxes because we're going to be building the Venom X, which we'll talk about in just a sec. But basically this area, you have to get your skill points. If you don't get your skill points in the first 3 options, so the first 2 hives and then the tentacle, I just restart because skill points are really necessary in this game. You probably have maybe room for 3 mistakes throughout the whole thing, and anything less than that is gonna make it really difficult on your team. So if you don't get the first 3, just restart because it's gonna help you a lot. And even in the second area, you got to get, I'd say all of them, but probably 1. So then from there, just continue on, beat the tentacle, you know what to do. And then you're going to want to go to this door right here and open it up because you can get in it the Venom schematic. So what you want to do with your team is remember all those toolboxes? Well, you're going to want to go back and let everybody get a deactivated Venom X and a nucleic battery. And then you guys are going to want to go searching for biomes. So I would recommend having 2 people with fire ones, 1 person with a blue one, and 1 person with a green one. Now the green one is just really good against taking out rhinos. That's that. But I mean, it is down to preference. That's just my personal recommendation. Now, once everybody has a Venom X, the other thing you're going to want to do is have 2 people pick up sticky flare schematics, because you're going to want to start building on those, because those are going to be really helpful towards the end. So you just want to start preparing for that already. Now on to the second area. This place isn't too bad if you are smart. So this one over here, either at the staircase or on top of the cargo crates, can be difficult if you don't use your traps. This one down in the corner on the opposite side isn't too bad if you use sentries and use the fire trap. That is always a big help. And then the one that you have to defend from afar is not too bad, but you have to, what you do is have 1 person always focused on the drill, 2 people always focused on the aliens, and then 1 person going back and forth playing support of whoever needs the help at the current time. But it's not too bad. And then the last spot, which is the door, I will say can probably give you some trouble. So make sure you use your traps, make sure you use your sentries, because you're gonna get some rhinos. So use your Venom X and your armor piercing. Now, as for buildables, because after this you're gonna be going up, what you want to do before you leave is hopefully you have 2 people with flares crafted already. You may only have 1, you may not have any, but make sure before you leave that you have 2 people with with sticky flare schematics and 2 people with hypno trap schematics. Just make sure you have those. Now, as you're going up, if you have a sentry, you actually can't place it, but what you can do is you can drop down and pick it up, and it will rejoin you with your squad, and you'll be holding your sentry gun. Just a pro little tip there. Now the third area is what's going to make or break you. So there's only 2 hives here, but it can be difficult. So you're either going to get this spot down below or another spot up top, which you'll see in just a sec. This one is definitely easier than the other one, as in this spot here, I find that the cedars can really be a nuisance, but this top one is going to be your biggest concern. So you want to have at least 2 sentry guns down. I place both mine on opposite ends of the area, as well as turning on both of the electric traps. You're going to get rhinos, either 1 or 2, it kind of depends. And this, I find, is really the make or break moment. If you do well here, you're probably about to beat it, or at least make it to the Kraken. And if you struggle here, you're probably going to struggle with the end. At this point as well is also when you're going to be probably about at the point where you have everything you need upgraded. So like for me, I was the guy with the weapon specialist and sentries. I have both of those set up now at this point, so that I have I can place down 2 sentries and I have a full weapon specialist. This is really kind of the turning point as to how you're doing. Oh, and also in this area, like I said, with your schematics that you picked up in the last area, you should be looking around trying to build those so that you can save them for the Kraken and final area. So the 4th area is actually not too bad. Now, there's 2 difficult hives and 2 easy ones. This one you see here is one of the more difficult ones that I recommend doing first. Just a bad angle that you're basically in kind of puts you in a really dangerous spot for like people spawning down in. And the other one that's difficult is at this staircase right here. Same sort of principle. You're just trapped in this corner where they're all kind of coming in from, and you just kind of get trapped and you can't put your sentries in good places. Now the other 2, this one up here by this kind of catwalk, is fairly easy if you do it right. So most of the aliens come from the opposite side over by the chlorine gas area. So you can put like 2 or 3 sentries there here, and it really will just clean them all up. You're probably going to have an engineer and your weapon specialist with double sentries now. So you're going to have, in total probably 6 sentries to put down. So you can definitely put them in good areas, and that will really, really help out your cause here. And then the other one that's easy, which I always do last, is this one that's right in the middle of the map. You camp over in this corner that you see. You can put your sentries kind of in that back corner, like on that crate, and then also in the circular area where you find the intel behind. You can kind of put it there, and it's just in a good spot where the aliens can't really like get to it to break it so often. So that's helpful. Now, we actually put down our Hypno Traps here because we knew that this was the last Rhino, and we wanted to have one for the Kraken, but he didn't actually stay with us long enough because of the chlorine gas bit. So I would recommend, honestly, just saving your traps till the very, very end once you're facing the Kraken. But anyways, once you beat that, you are now ready to do the chlorine gas and then move on to the Kraken. All right, so the chlorine gas can be difficult for people who don't know what they're doing, but luckily with sentries, it's made very easy. So what you want to do is you need at least 6 sentries. So you want to put 2 where you see I just put mine, and then you want to put them in the exact same spot mirroring the other side. Now, if you only have 4, put them towards the outside. Don't put them like the inside one right there. It's better to have the one on the outside because it gets the entire area. But basically, you want to have at least 2, preferably 4 sentries on this kind of sideways area here right beside the chlorine gas. And then as you can kind of see, you want the other 2 down in that like platform in the middle of the area that you may be able to see. We have our teammate put 2 down there because that clears all the ones out down below as well as the ones facing your sentries, and then the 4 sentries that you have up top clear everything on the boardwalk. It makes it really easy, like almost laughably. So if you're going for doing this easy and you have a lot of sentries, it can be made very, very easy. But once you beat this, you're now ready to do the Kraken. So very best case scenario, you have 8 flares on your team and 2 Hypno Traps, but that is the absolute best case scenario. That is basically never going to happen. If you have 4 flares and about, let's say, 2 Hypno Traps, that's really, really good and what you want to aim for. Having 4 flares and 1 Hypno Trap will probably be realistic, but if you can get that second Hypno Trap, that'll be really good. But anyways, that will be just kind of helping you out for the Kraken. So when you spawn in, what you want to do is, my kind of strategy is have your sentry guns. Okay, so like the second you spawn in, have 2 people go straight to the turrets, and you want to go right to them, and then have people set their sentry guns facing away from you on the turrets, and you're gonna have 2 people kind of clearing out the area, as well as hopefully 4 sentry guns right beside the guys in the turrets, and then the guys in the turrets are just going to be going ham on the Kraken. And basically that's my whole strategy as for beating it. There's not really like this, like I said, an amazing way to do it, but I just like to have 2 sentry guns on each guy on the turrets, and then have 2 guys just kind of roaming around clearing out additional aliens. That's really the best way I've found to be able to beat it. He's gonna take out your sentries occasionally. That's gonna happen. He's gonna do his red thing, and the 2 people who are just running around should either go. I recommend going to the people on the turrets because there's gonna be 2 little like areas that don't get affected by the lava by the turrets, and then there's also one spot in the middle. But I think it's better to have 1 person go to each guy on the turret because that's just gonna give him a little bit more help. So in case he goes down, he has someone to revive him right away. But basically, the turret, or like I said, the Kraken is always he takes a lot of damage, and you're gonna have to go back and forth a couple of times. It usually takes me 3 or 4, but really, he's just a matter of keeping the aliens at. It's just a matter of keeping the aliens at bay, using flares if at all it gets hectic. Don't let it get out of hand. Just use a flare, be calm, collected. And that's basically it for taking out the Kraken, guys. There's no super secret way, but the turrets on the side of the ship are key, as well as sentry guns. Oh, and don't let Cedar spawn in because they will destroy you. But anyways, guys, that is my ultimate 4-player solo. That is my ultimate 4-player guide for you guys. I hope you found that helpful. If there's any questions down below, just feel free to ask me. I'm always down for helping people out to beating this map. I know it's hard for some. If you could leave a like on this video to help it get out there, that would be great. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.